Man, I probably should have uploaded this video earlier. The Devils are playing right now against the New York Rangers because of a back-to-back, and you have a bunch of other Devils that are all the way over there in Europe to suit up in their European games in Prague, so yeah, things are kind of all over the place here. I'm kind of irresponsible for not making this video earlier, but I do feel like this is more of a hockey story rather than a New Jersey Devils story per se. This guy has been the #1 trending player on Elite Prospects for most of the past 24 hours or so, and for good reason. Because today, we are talking about yesterday's New Jersey versus New York game in the preseason, and the starting goalie that stole all the headlines. It was a 3-1 New Jersey win, and yes, before you ask, the Devils and Rangers are playing once again right now. At the time of me recording this audio, it's 1-1 in the October 1st game. But the New York Rangers in this one had 30 shots for, and the Devils only allowed in one of them. The goaltender that helped backstop New Jersey to this 3-1 win, his name is Jeremy Brodeur. And yes, you're hearing that exactly right. Today, what I wanted to do was take a look at Jeremy Brodeur and his overall profile, because this journeyman, who eventually played in a preseason game with the New Jersey Devils, happens to be the 27-year-old son of Martin Brodeur. Legendary New Jersey goaltender, one of the best goaltenders of all time, and the son Jeremy was born back when Martin was doing his thing with the Devils in the mid-90s. So I wanted to go over the story of Jeremy Brodeur here, just talk about his profile as a goaltender and where he has gone throughout his hockey playing career. First things first though, you gotta acknowledge that Jeremy Brodeur, like Martin, wasn't really the tallest guy. Isn't, excuse me. Martin was, I think, 6'2", Jeremy Brodeur is 6 feet, 185, left-handed catching goaltender, 27 years old, and because he was born in 1996 October, that means he would have been eligible for the 1997 draft class. He would have been eligible in 2015 to get drafted into the NHL, and in 2014-15, Jeremy Brodeur was in the OHL with the Ottawa Generals. He had just wrapped up with the USHS Prep School League's Shattuck St. Mary's U18 prep team, and had a draft-eligible season wherein he posted a 900 save percentage in 19 games, and a 500 save percentage in 2 games in the playoffs. Yeah, he had a 500 save percentage. That's terrible. He let in half the shots that were thrown against him. As the years went on, though, for Jeremy Brodeur, he rounded out his game in the OHL, was pretty alright with the Ottawa Generals in 2016-17 with a 916 save percentage, and then proceeded to play varying levels of hockey throughout his career. Take a look at this crazy path here. From 2017-18 to 2019-20, he had played for, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different teams? What the hell? Or no, not 9 different teams, 8 different teams, excuse me, because one of those teams repeated. He went from the Allen Americans in the ECHL to the Evansville Thunderbolts in the SPHL, on loan to the San Jose Barracuda in the AHL, back to the Allen Americans for the ECHL the next season, to the Norfolk Admirals in the ECHL, to the Binghamton Devils in the AHL, to the Peoria Rivermen in the SPHL, and then he went to Budapest, and then he was in England for the Sheffield Steelers. Talk about a guy who has been everywhere in the hockey playing world, at varying levels in North America, all the way to Europe. Now, to his credit, he actually was pretty good with the Rivermen in 2019-20, 944 save percentage in 6 games, of course, though that's the year that COVID ended up taking over the world. But after that, Jeremy Brodeur played a few more games throughout the AHL and ECHL leagues. He was with the Knoxville Ice Bears, the Binghamton Devils in the AHL, Providence Bruins, Maine Mariners, South Carolina Stingrays. It's kind of crazy how he went from good AHL numbers, like the 922 save percentage he had with the Binghamton Devils in 2020-2021, down to the ECHL the next year, and then eventually yeeting off to Europe to play for the Manchester Storm one more time. He had a 917 save percentage in 36 games played with the EIHL's Manchester Storm, which is really interesting. The year after that, he ends up going back to the AHL and ECHL. He's good with the Utica Comets. He has a 909 save percentage in the 1 game he played, and he's really good for the ECHL's Adirondack Thunder. Now, playing in the Utica Comets system, a guy with no contract, by the way. It doesn't say that he has any signed deal. It seems like he's still a part of the Utica Comets system, and now Jeremy Brodeur in 2024-2025, because most of the New Jersey Devils' top guys are in Prague getting prepared for their Buffalo Sabres international games. Because the team is kind of not here right now, there was a big opportunity for B, C-tier players to get their chance at playing under the NHL spotlight, and Jeremy Brodeur did exactly that. There were so many really great saves that Brodeur made. There was a 2-on-1 chance from the second period where he had to lunge across to his right side and grab the backdoor play. There were other routine stops that he was making, and he was making them look easy too. And you see some of the replies, guys, what if? And you don't even need to fill in the blanks there. You can kind of get what Evan is saying. Hey, what if Jeremy Brodeur is actually good? And what if he's actually able to play at the NHL level? Some of these other replies, hearing that call brings me back. The call is, oh, great save by Brodeur. Ah, this Jeremy guy is pretty good. Wow. And it's even crazier when you acknowledge the guy that Brodeur was playing on the other side, the New York Rangers starting goaltender for that game, was Jonathan Quick. You talk about the Brodeur'S getting their revenge, right? Okay, that's not like the same magnitude at all. I understand that 10 years ago, when Jonathan Quick was on the Kings and they beat the New Jersey Devils in 2012 and Martin Brodeur was the main goalie then, obviously Quick had the last laugh because he had 2 Stanley Cup rings and he's plugging them into his ear so he can't hear what I'm saying. But is it not so poetic that Jeremy Brodeur's preseason game that took all the headlines? He's suiting up for New Jersey, his dad's name is in the rafters, and everybody's looking on in awe, and he goes out there and beats not only a division rival in New York, but the guy that defeated his father in the Stanley Cup Finals in 2012 in Jonathan Quick on the other side. That's a storybook ending right there. Okay, maybe not an ending. I mean, the season is just beginning here. But for Jeremy Brodeur, this obviously bodes well into the storylines. This is going to be a really great talking point for months to come, especially when you consider what's going to happen with the New Jersey Devils too. Jeremy Brodeur does not have an NHL contract. If you go over to the Utica Comets and you take a look at their goaltending situation right now, Isaac Poulter, Tyler Brennan, Jeremy Brodeur, and Nico Daws are all there, but only Brodeur doesn't have a contract. The other guys do. And the thing is, Brodeur is a good AHL, ECHL caliber goalie. I mean, just taking a look at the numbers, he hasn't necessarily been bad throughout his hockey-playing career. Inconsistent, sure, I'll say that. I mean, he had an .821 save percentage in the ECHL after a .917 save percentage in the AHL the year beforehand, and a .922 the year before that. So obviously he's not the most consistent. I mean, he's 6 feet flat, so I'm not going to expect him to be an NHL caliber project, but for a guy who showed up well yesterday, who had a fantastic game, and who stole heads all over the hockey world because of the connections to a New Jersey goaltending legend, we couldn't go out there and not talk about this. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you're a fan of the Utica Comets or of the New Jersey Devils, what are your thoughts on Jeremy Brodeur's stellar preseason game against the Rangers? And do you think this guy actually has the potential to play a game for the New Jersey Devils in the regular season this year? Is it possible, or is it not? He doesn't have a contract, so there would need to be some hoops and hurdles jumped over in order to get that done. But depending on how he plays with the Utica Comets system this upcoming year, which is not guaranteed, by the way, there are so many goaltenders that are rotating around there. He only had 1 AHL game played last year anyway, so his job security is far from guaranteed, but considering the circumstances, considering that all you need is a shot, and to take advantage of that one shot, seems like Jeremy Brodeur did that with the game yesterday. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you're a Devils fan, a Utica Comets fan, how do you feel about your goaltending? Jacob Markstrom, of course, is the number 1. You have a bunch of other guys floating around that could be call-up options soon. Is Jeremy Brodeur one of the names that you want to see put in that spot? Thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.